So, hi, my name is Christy of Pixel Pixie Cross Stitch. I'm a designer, and that is my alias. So, this is my first floss tube. I didn't have a goal of having a floss tube, but I just had a lot of whips I want to share. I can't usually share my whips because most of them will be models or test stitches. And so there's times when I'm not even working on the other ones, but I actually, when I do a lot of stuff, I kind of give myself a break once I get a lot of things out. So, and then I just work on OPPs, what I call them, because I'm a 90s, 80s, 90s kid, other people's patterns. So I got some OPP whips right now that are adorable and I can share. I'm really excited. So, as far as recording, this isn't going to be beautiful. There's not going to be fancy editing. So, stick with me here. It's really just I could get it done as the hot mess artistic brain I am, and it won't be perfect, or it's not going to happen at all. So, I don't even know if I'm looking at people the right way, but it's about the whips. This is all about the whips. So, here goes. So, the first one I have is sort of a fully finish. As you can see, it's not fully finished because I'm kind of stressed out about how short the fabric is. But anyway, so this is the Beekeeper Gnome by the Laurel Witch, Laura Dobbs. She is I believe, professionally trained artist. Seems like she went to art school or something. She's a painter. She's amazing. Sorry, I can't get the camera quite right. I think if it's back here, it's better. But I love a lot of her stuff. She's got a lot of gnomes and witches. This one really spoke to me because I grew up in Utah, which is the beehive state. It's named because of the Mormon pioneers, which I'm descended from. I'm not Mormon, but I'm a Mormon pioneer descendant, and they were very industrious. So, and Laura didn't know this. She just thought it was cute, but it really spoke to me. So I have my beekeeper gnome. And I love that Laura, she always does alternate skin tones, so it's not all white people. I did a white person in this case because I'm from Utah. I'm gonna be honest, everyone's white. Sorry to knock Utah, but I mean, I'm from there. I live in outside Austin, Texas now, but Utah is still my first home. And the beekeeper gnome is she's special. I gotta get her hung up in my room. I don't have a brag wall yet. I have lots of things to put on it, but they are not there yet. I might be visited by dogs, cats, or a child. We'll see. Next whip I worked on a lot last night is my temperature stitch for 2022. This, my needle minder's in the way. This is by Climbing Goat Designs. They're based out of the UK, I believe out of England. And they've got a lot of cool temperature stitches. But my family's really interested in the solar system and space and sci-fi. So this really, really spoke to me. And so I got this done through October 3rd. Last night I busted out just over a week's worth of days last night watching Get Out, which was very cool. Never seen it. But I busted this out. Oh yeah, my husband's out of town for a couple nights for work, so I'm watching whatever I want. And it's Jordan Peele horror movies. Another tonight. So anyway, 7 days here. No, 8 or 9 days last night. So that is October 31st. And so we've got November and then December, and then this baby's done. And I have enjoyed it immensely. And I'm going to be learning how to frame because I really want a framer in my area that knows how to professionally frame cross stitch. So I'm just going to start doing it myself. And maybe for other people if they're interested. So this might be the first thing I frame extra properly. I mean, I know how to frame now. I lace the back. I do all that stuff, but it'll be even fancier. So this might be my first one I frame. I think I'm going to do it with a square mat. And I've got another one I think I'm going to do circular. But we'll see how that goes. So this is a whip that's going on. Let's see. So I'll just have them in order. This whip is, you can't see a lot of it. Let me find, this is Skull Slurpee by my good friend, my IRL friend, Amanda DeLong. She is she's a designer. She goes by the name Bad Stitched, and she just should be ridiculously famous. I'm going to be honest. It's not just because I know and love her. I love her art. Like, love, love, love her art. And she's just also just a bad A, awesome human. I've bought a lot of her patterns, but this is a freebie. But I just suddenly decided a couple weeks ago, I'm going to make it now. So this is Skull Slurpee, but I always think of just Skull Soup. But it's Skull Slurpee. And this is what it looks like. I really like, whoever stitched this, I really like, they did it kind of on a light pink, but it looks pretty fabulous. But if you don't follow her, totally follow her. I think she started out mainly doing a lot of like goth stuff, but she's transitioned a lot. And right now, yesterday, hot off the presses, she released Pantheon. She likes to do zines, so like magazines. You buy it and you get tons of patterns. So she's been working on this baby for months, and I've been watching it because she and I consult each other when we design. We're always like, what do you think of this? Does this look like this? Oh, that looks like pizza. It's supposed to be pie, you know. Yes, this is discussion we've had very recently. Yes, I designed, it looked like pizza. Was supposed to be pie. You'll see it later. So Pantheon, it's all based on Greek mythology. Came out yesterday. Fantastic. Fantastic. I highly recommend looking her up. She's on Instagram as Bad Stitched, but she goes by Bad Stitch. I know she's got a Patreon. She's on Etsy. Possibly when you buy things on, it's not just Patreon. Maybe it is. I don't know. Look her up. She's amazing. So Skull Slurpee, I had bought this fabric at my local store, Golden Needle. If you look them up online, great. Lisa's got a great website, but it's one N, Golden Needle. Golden Needle, but it's Golden Needle. But I saw this fabric and I bought it for no reason. I'm a very practical person and usually only buy things I have plans for. I'm not a stash person, really. But this fabric was I will use that. 'Tis gorgeous, no? And it is, and it's gonna have a Skull Slurpee. Woohoo! Skull Slurpee. Let's put that there. Oh, these aren't even in an organized pile. Actually, no. I'm gonna wait and show you a lot of my work at the end. I feel like this is a shameless self-promotion, but it's my video, so I guess why not? I'm proud, and that's a lot of my whips. So a lot of my finished models from the last couple months I want to share, so I'm going to. So there. So here is Possum Song. I have to say, and she totally knows this. Lots of people know this. I fangirl Mama Witch cross stitch so hard. I love her. I think maybe she thought I was a creeper. I don't know, but we're kind of becoming friends, so maybe she doesn't think I'm a creeper anymore. Every time she gets excited about my designs, I'm like, oh my God, starstruck. So, and of course, from her point of view, she's just a regular schmo. And she's like, why? It's because she's crazy talented. So anyway, this last year, I started Possum Song. And I just fell in love with this guy. He's going to have backstitch, so he's got whiskers. He's got like, you know, some kind of plant sticking out of his mouth. Here's the final. So I'm fairly close to getting him done. I just adore this little dude. And I kind of didn't work on him for a few months. I decided, you know, I'd save him for the fall. So I just got him back out again a couple weeks ago. The rest might be mine? No. I've got one left that is not mine. This is a bendy stitchy chart. I really like the sentiment. I can't see. The world is odd and sometimes wonderful. I love that it's a really good chart for picking. Besides, it's just rad. You can pick your own color scheme. And so I based it around, after I participated in the X Stitch the Rainbow for Expo, look it up, it's really cool. It was used specifically, we used Cottage Garden threads, so I'm in love with them. I talk to them a lot. I think I talked to Katie. She helps me pick out stuff because I've got a new series I'm working on that I'm using them a lot. So I based it on this color that I just obsessed over. It's called, I think it's Cocoon. Because it's like my favorite colors. So then I bought Cocoon. I had this scrap fabric, and then I based some of the colors. I just based it all around that. Things I had, like, I'm really having a hard time doing this. That is Huckleberry from Gentle Arts. This is Ultraviolet from Weeks. It's all stash. I know that was a Gentle Art. I can't remember what that one was called. It was maybe that was Hyacinth. And that was a DMC, and B5200 DMC. This was a joy, an absolute joy to stitch. I highly recommend it. She's got some other cool ones similar to this, like, I think The Personal is Political, always has been, but she's got some really fun designs. She's very talented, and she's such a supportive friend to so many people. Like, I consider her a friend, but she's also one of those people that's probably friends with everyone, and I don't know how she does it. I watch her floss tube sometimes, and she talks so fast, and she's a very, like, high energy person. She works. I think she's in grad school. She's a mom. She streams. She designs. I can't imagine being that high functioning. I don't know how she does it all. And manages to be an amazing friend to hundreds of people online that she's never met. But she's a really good person, and she's been really supportive of my getting into the business, and I just really appreciate her. So I think the rest of this stuff is mine. So shameless self-promotion, here we go. But these are my whips. Actually, the first one I'm going to show I made last spring, but it just came out. So I kept jokingly calling it my big break, but last December, I applied to Just Cross Stitch magazine for my Christmas ornament. It was scary, not scary, but I was nervous. I was stressed. It was a big thing. I was like, are they going to like me? I don't know. Especially because my style can be kind of weird. My tagline is whimsical and sometimes weird. And I know that doesn't appeal to everyone, which is why some designs I put into print and get into shops, and some I just don't even bother because maybe too wacky that the people they'll sell to don't necessarily shop in shops. So anyway, this is my design, and I adore it. And it's probably not the best. It's not the best design in the magazine, obviously. It's probably not even close. But I love it, and it makes me immensely happy. And this baby's going to be on my tree every year in prized place. So it's all about the sweets. I have an obsession with candy. I don't always eat it. I love eating candy and dessert, but I love looking at it. And so I designed it. It's all about the sweets. You got peppermint cocoa. You got a mouse eating a candy cane. Rainbow gumdrops. You got chocolate covered pretzels and starlight mints. And also, just for fun, I added seed beads. Which, if you're interested, I just filmed a seed bead tutorial, and it's on my Instagram. It's a reel. They're actually really easy to put on. But anyway, this was a flat finish. Still has my sticker from Just Cross Stitch. So, yes, my first brag picture. I gotta try to remember to show you my future whips that I'm gonna buy fabric for. In fact, while I'm at it, let me show you while I'm thinking about it. I have 2 future whips I want to start soon. I'm a hot mess, but that's okay. It's okay. I'll move. So 2 future whips. First one I got right here is Perky Lion by Marumi Crafts. So Mariam is also an amazing designer. I think everything she sells on Gumroad, so you can even pay however much you want. You can even get things for free, but pay someone $1 at least. Artists deserve it. But she's got this line of animals, and this is Perky Lion, and so many of them are cute, but this one really grabbed me. And I love the colors. It matches The colors match my living room. And so my husband loves it too. So this is Perky Lion. I want to find just the right fabric, and I want it in 14 count. And she's a sweetheart. She was even going to send me her scrap, but it was only 16. And I want 14 because I want it as big as possible. So on Friday, I'm going to meet my friend Sarah at Golden Needle. It's 45 minutes away in San Marcos, Texas. So we're going to meet there just because I think she's picking up something for me, and we're going to meet. So I would get fabric for this. Lisa owns Golden Needle. You might have heard it before. She was based in Florida for a long time. I think the shop was there for like 30 years before she even started owning it, before she purchased it. But she and her husband moved back to Texas like 6 months ago, and she opened her shop here, and it's a fabulous shop, and I really want to plug it. Support your LNS. If you don't have a local needlework store, find one that has a great online shop and mix it up with your online shop, because there are online shops that are great and I support and fully support me. So I kind of mix it up because not everyone carries the same thing. So I tend to go between not the big online shops, but like the ones I know people that run them, and mix that up with ordering from local shops or buying at local shops, because if we don't support them, they're not going to stay in business. So yeah, I'm going to go get fabric for Perky Lion, and I really want to get something similar to that. That is by Mislaid Pages, and they do some amazing stuff, and I hope I can find something at least kind of similar, because they don't have anything like that in stock right now. I need to double check. Actually, maybe they did dye it and just forgot I was the person to ask. Okay, I'm going to double check. Jesse, if you're watching this, I'll double check before I buy some fabric, because I was like, I really want this in 14 count. Oops. I really want it 14 to make it big. And so the other thing I am going to buy fabric for is another Mama Witch. It's her Krampus. There were so many Krampuses. Okay, Krampus. I have a friend from Austria, and it's actually Krampus. Something like that. Krampus, as the Americans say. We say Krampus. So there were a lot of rad Krampuses that came out last Christmas. It was like the year of the Krampus. But this guy, man, I wish I could show you better. Look her up online. She's Mama Witch X Stitch. And oh my goodness. Like I said, I fangirl her. But my husband and I both love this Krampus because he's like cute and sassy and creepy, and I just want to hug him. And then he'd probably kidnap my child, and I wouldn't really want to hug him. But he looks so cute. Look at that guy. And I love it on that blue. So yeah, I'm going to look for fabric for Perky Lion after I check on Mislaid Pages. And then, and for this dude. But yeah, there are places that just have great fabric. And I have to say, for someone that isn't a dyer, Lisa Golden Needle, I love her fabric. She's got great fabric, so. And she's got a lot of floss too, so. Again, I'm promoting my friend Lisa of Golden Needle. Just because. Keep people in business. So the rest are mine. Why do I feel guilty for like shoving mine at you? I need to get over that. Okay. So I had 3 that came out in print last month. And I'm going to be honest, like even though I was at Expo, it's just hard to get your name out there and hard to get people to take a chance on you or like your stuff. I got in like 24 shops at Expo, which is good. And then I only seemed to get my new charts into 3 shops. It was a little bit ouch. Maybe 4. Pretty sure it was just 3. It's life. You're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but it was like, man, I thought 4 or 5 would. But that's okay. Maybe they're not good enough. That's okay. I know people that want to stitch my cats. So I had the Halloween cats. They have been very much seen. They do have fans. I'm probably, my 3-year-old daughter is probably my cat cross stitch Halloween number 1 fan, but she knows all the names. But so I decided to start a seasonal line. Even if no one likes any of these, they make me happy. I'm going to have these in my house. So I started a seasonal line for them as well. I'm going to have a Valentine's one too. And And a lot of the newer ones are based on real cats. So, some of them are just based on types of cats. So my first one I made was Autumn. This is the one that came out in a physical chart last month. Autumn is, so the 3 shops I think that bought my charts this time around, you can get it at Top Knot Stitcher, who is rad. She's online. She's a great friend. She is so supportive. She has me on auto ship, whereas I got new stuff, she buys it, and it's incredibly flattering. And she has been so incredibly supportive, and she's got her own designs. So check out topknotstitcher.com. And also the Tinsmith's Wife in Comfort, Texas, which I love that shop. They got yarn too. They're in a small town. They've got cats. It's awesome. And so they've always been very supportive of me. And the other shop also that's super supportive of me is Golden Needle, which I love her shop too. So cats in my cross patch chart, which I'll show you in a minute, is they're all in those 3 shops. And I won't be selling them in PDFs until next year. So this is Autumn. I decided to go with the sunflower theme. When I was choosing a cat type, I chose a tuxedo cat. 'Cause I have never had a tuxedo cat, and I think they're gorgeous. I always end up with gray tabbies and torties. Because torties, I guess, are like my familiars. My familiar would be a tortie, because they're kind of little shits. I'm going to tell you, they're trouble. But they're so cute. Anyway, so this is a tuxedo cat. There's some acorns, sunflowers. I often have backstitch, so there's a little bit of backstitch in there besides in the whiskers. So anyway, it's probably taking forever. I'm gonna move on. That's Autumn. And I also did Winter at the same time. And this is Winter. I went with winter colors. I was trying to make it not Christmassy. I have lots of friends that are Jewish, and I just want them to have stuff to stitch in the winter too. So much is so like Christmas. So made sure this was just winter style. So this is Winter. Got some snowflakes, some hearts, some piney boughs, some, what are those things? Pine cones. Pine cones. Okay, cross patch. My 3rd chart that came out last month that is in print only, that has a cat hair. Woohoo! So this is cross patch. Woo! It's see-through right now. So I bought a perfect frame for it. It's Laura Ashley. Don't usually buy a Laura Ashley. Not my style, but for this, I think it's perfection for it. So let me put this against it so you can see it. So this is cross patch. Cross patch, draw the latch, sit by the fire and spin, take a cup and drink it up, then call your neighbors in. So this was in my daughter's, she's got a Disney Mother Goose Rhymes, and this has grumpy, when it's 7 dwarfs, sitting by a fire looking grumpy. There's a lot of interpretations of this. I think crosspatch this is like 19th century. Crosspatch is, I think, like a grumpy or cross person. There are multiple interpretations of it, and I know there's one I particularly thought was interesting that Dr. Christie, who's also a stitcher, floss tuber, designer, I showed her and she's like, I think that's interesting, but I don't agree with that translation. So I really don't, or interpretation. So I don't really know, and I know she's a busy person, so I didn't like needle her to find out, well, what's your interpretation? But I went with, it made me feel very cottagecore. I've never done cottagecore. It hasn't really, I tend to stay away from things that are really popular just because I feel like so many people are doing it so well. Why do I need to do it? You know, try to do my own thing, but unless I really feel it, and I was really feeling this, and you know, it called for mushrooms, so I did mushrooms. So I used the gentle art. I originally was going to use their pumpkin, I think it's pumpkin spice or pumpkin pie, but I had a hard time getting it in stock. So I used, I think it's called Ginger Snap for this, which is really great because it ended up looking like fire, which is great because it talks about a fire. So maybe I'll hold this against this. So Ginger Snap kind of looks like fire. I have cups of tea. I researched like tin cups from kind of that era because I imagine it would be kind of a more poverty-stricken person. I'm thinking like Dickens era. I love Dickens. I love Dickens. So I was picturing something Dickens era. So I looked up like a kind of tin cup that someone would have. This is what Google said. Google could be lying. I based the flowers around something that seemed appropriate. Don't remember, but and then the colors I chose. So I used half DMC for some and gentle art for others, but the gentle art is a dream to work with. Hand dyed and over dyed floss. Yes, costs more, but it's so fun. And like if you have big patches of something that would be really boring to stitch. I don't stitch things that are even, if something is cool but it looks like I would be bored stitching it, I won't stitch it because I'll get bored and I don't want to be bored doing my favorite thing. Anyway, that's cross patch. Very proud of cross patch. It's gonna go in my brag room that right now just has cool tarot cards I found 20 years ago that finally framed. Because I just think they're pretty. So, last couple things I want to show you are my new line of Sinister Sweeties. And they have, they are things that I didn't think would sell. I mean, I never know what's going to sell. A couple of my best-selling designs are not my favorites, and that's what people love. And I'm glad I'm making people happy. My fall friends from the October issue of Just Cross Stitch. You know, some people really loved it, and I'm incredibly flattered and think it's wonderful, but I'm just kind of meh on it. I think the stuff I really like and really am into just does not appeal to the average stitcher, and that's cool. But I got to keep making what I feel in my heart. So I started this line of Sinister Sweeties, I call them. And they're all desserts that are carnivorous. I didn't even try to put them in print because I don't see shops being like, yeah, I'm going to stock that. No. But I did sell a few. But I don't know if it's just because it's cool or because this particular first one was Halloween themed and people just love Halloween stuff. I'm going to do them all year. Still talking about it, not showing you. So this is Carmela. The idea is really they're inspired from a movie I used to watch all the time in the 80s, The Young Sherlock Holmes. And there's this point where Holmes, so they're teenagers, they're in high school. Holmes gets somehow like put under a spell or something, and he looks at this baked goods wall and he imagines the glass breaks and the baked goods come to life and they get eyes and they like have little fairy evil voices and they attack him and start stuffing themselves in his face. And my brother and I used to watch it. We would rewind it. It was the 80s. It was on VHS, and we would rewind that and watch it and giggle. Probably more me. He's 5 years older than me. Be like, can we watch it again? Please rewind it. So they're based on that, but I wanted them to be little individuals, and so I didn't really know how to convey them attacking someone and stuffing themselves in their mouths. So, yeah, they're eating other treats, small ones that look scared. I'm sorry I don't know how to make them look more clear on this. But anyway, so I know you wouldn't usually eat a candy corn with a fork, but I was trying to convey the whole eating thing. So, and with all of these in this line, so these are all available exclusively on my website, pixelpixiex.com. This thread, I can't remember where I got it, but it's on the pattern. It's probably in my Instagram post, but this was called Candy Corn. So what I've been doing for every one of these is finding an overdyed floss that I feel like really is going to represent it, be bright, be fun, but have the colors I need in it. So I base this around this candy corn floss. So, and then the rest are DMC. And I just love how Carmela turned out. I love that one of my friends, Color Me Amy Cross Stitch, talked me into adding some color to make it have some depth for like reflection. And if you look up on Google, you know, they usually have a reflection on them. So that's, thank you, Amy, for encouraging me to do that. If Amy ever has time to watch this, Amy has 2 kids, 2 young kids. She's a busy lady. So that's Carmela. And then I just finished, this is the final thing I'm going to show you. I just finished Krusty yesterday. And one of my friends on Instagram, if you watch this, remind me it was you. I forgot who gave me the name Krusty because I asked lots of friends, like, what would you name a pumpkin pie? Someone said Krusty. And they said it was because they loved The Simpsons. And I was like, yeah, I grew up on The Simpsons too. I don't remember who to thank, and I'm sorry about that. This is Krusty. And Krusty is eating a cherry pie that looks terrified. So, and I based this one, and these are baby cherry pies. This is what, oh man, you just can't see. But I used 2 strands back stitching to kind of show the lattice on the pie. But I'm really proud of my depth and color changes. That's another thing I've been getting inspired by my friend Amy. She's a very new designer, but she's incredibly talented and artistic. Like, she draws and all that jazz. She's very talented. And I like her work, so I'm excited to see where she goes. She hasn't started selling yet, but she is on Instagram. She's posting as Color Me Amy X Stitch. Anyway, we're friends. Our kids play together. It's cute. But anyway, I based this one around after lots of hunting, which was funny because so I talked to Katie at Cottage Garden Threads. They're Australian, and I'm like, I want one that looks like pumpkin pie. And of course she's like, I've never had, what does pumpkin pie look like? She's Australian. So finally, luckily, Golden Needle started stocking, after Expo, started stocking Cottage Garden Threads. So I found Fireplace in real life, and it's perfection. So yeah, Fireplace is what this one's called. This floss, love it. Borders, the whole border thing was inspired by Bendy Stitchy. She does fabulous borders. I try not to copy her borders, but this pretty simple border I like because it kind of reminds me of eyelet lace, but with a twist because it's got wacky floss, which is kind of my jam. Like traditional things with kind of a, I don't know, that's just kind of my style when I dress a lot too. So on days when I actually dress cool. While you're here, one more thing. I have no picture to show you of this, but I am so excited to say that Pamela and Amanda of Starlight Stitchery in Oregon, they have an online shop, starlightstitch.com. So they do mystery stitch boxes, and they are fantastic. It's all kind of more alternative, dark. A lot of the designers have like a goth bent. They're amazing boxes. Like, just amazing. Like I'm gonna forget to list people, but like even the Witchy Stitcher, like she's kind of a big deal. She's in them. Bendy Stitchy has been in there. Lola Crow, I have not stitched any of her things yet, and I love her work. Cobweb and Rose, Noctiflora, Fox. I'm forgetting the Starlight Stitchery design name. Which I think is Pamela, or is that a man? I think it's Pamela. But anyway, Foxglove and Crow. I don't know. Noctiflora, Bad Stitch has been in there recently. I bought the one in May, which I'm a pretty frugal person, but I was like, it's Mother's Day, and I want this. And I saw a sneak preview of that box, the Poison Garden one. I saw a sneak preview of Lola Crow's design, which it was a little gnome, a garden gnome, but it was like a zombie garden gnome, and I was like, boom, sold. Here's my money. Take my money. So I bought that, and it was awesome. Their boxes are fabulous, and you get there's 10 designers in there or something. You always come with themed fabric, hand dyed floss. These beautiful wooden floss keeper minder. I don't remember what it's called. Wooden, maybe holds 10 for a project, and I don't know. Beautiful. Came with wax melts that were themed, poison garden sticker. It was all like, hemlock and just creepy garden stuff. So, point being, Amanda and Pamela asked me to join the designers. And so I just designed for the winter magic box, and it just went on sale last Saturday. It sold out in 3 hours, and I'm in it, and I'm so excited and so proud. So, and my design is nothing like I've done before. It's more detailed. When I design, I just kind of go with where it takes me. And this took me on a more sort of realistic, not my usual quirky, cartoony stuff. So I'm interested to see how people take it, if they like it, if it'll be worth eventually selling on my own, or I hope so. It was a lot of work. So on that note, I don't know what else to say. God knows this could be so long. Oh, it's not. It's only a half hour. Pat's back. Cool. Well, if you don't follow me and you like my stuff, give me a follow. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Instagram more. Although, oh yeah, I do have a freebie Christmas Advent Sal stitch along on Facebook right now. You just got to join the group. Pixel Pixie X Stitch. It's Christmas Advent Sal. I don't remember what it's called. But every 2 days I am releasing a new freebie. It's an advent calendar I sold in the past, and this year I was like, just give it for free because it's fun. And it is fun. I think the 5th one is released tomorrow, but they're all like, I want to say they're like 23 by 23, and I love them. They're the first thing I ever designed as an adult. I used to design when I was a teenager for fun, and then started 25 years later as an adult, solely because I just wanted an advent calendar that was cross-stitch, and I couldn't find one that like spoke to me, so I made my own. And then I put it on Etsy because I was like, that was a lot of work. Someone buys it, woohoo. And then I just kind of went down the rabbit hole of, I want to design this and I want to design that, and I just kept going, and now here I am. So wow, cool. I don't usually talk that much. It's so great to meet all you, and I'm looking forward to meeting anyone at StitchCon. I'm going to be at StitchCon next year. Super excited. I'm going with my friend Taylor, who's also on Instagram. She's like Taymo. Taylor, what is your thing? I don't remember. It's like Taymo, Taymoe, and maybe some numbers. But she's a really cool lady. We become online friends, so we're going to be roomies. Anyway, weekend 2. And it's really fun too, because I guess when you go, there's going to be a booklet of free patterns from designers attending, and I'm going to design one, and I'm pretty excited because I already got the idea what I'm going to design. It'll be cute. I'm excited. And I like making money, but I also like giving stuff away for free, because either way, when someone stitches your designs, like, it's so flattering, and I feel like cross-stitching is such... I feel like when you stitch a pattern, it's kind of an intimate relationship. Like I look at things and I'm like, I remember stitching that in the car driving to Yellowstone, or I remember stitching that when I was watching Orange is the New Black season 4, or like Krusty I was stitching while I was rewatching the Lord of the Rings trilogy again. Yes, we do this every few years. So yeah, Krusty was during Lord of the Rings the other night. But it's also like you have such a, I don't know, maybe I'm nuts, but it's like you have this intimate relationship with a pattern, and it's like a piece of you. And I feel like, I imagine other people have that relationship with their whips, and it's like we all have this shared connection. This sounds so hippy dippy, but we all have this like shared connection with these patterns, and I love when people love my work and they enjoy it as much as I do, because it just feels really good to give like that, to give something. And on that note, if you like my stuff, enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Throw me some money, buy it if you can. If not, I got those Advent freebies, and got some stuff and just cross stitch every once in a while. But the fact, I just enjoy it. Enjoy what I put out there. If you do, I just love that you're happy, and because I know, man, I love cross stitch. Cross stitch is life, and cats, and coffee. On that note, I hope this all actually recorded, or it's gonna be really sad.